Hello, everyone. It's Pat. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on the upcoming energies or the energies for the upcoming week from October 28th through November 2nd. We're coming into this final week of October. It's Halloween. It's also the final countdown to the election here in the United States. So we're going to have some interesting things, I think, going on in these next in this coming week and the coming next couple of weeks. First, it's Halloween. I live here in Salem, Massachusetts, and it is crazy town right now with all the people and the crowds that are here for Halloween in various states of dress. It's also starting to get a little bit chilly, so I have pulled out my fleece to keep me warm. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's the temperature finally is now starting to dip into the cooler temperatures. So I wanted to just touch briefly upon some cards that came out in the previous week's reading. There was from the fairies this card of feeling safe, and there was one about sexuality. And I think I had mentioned I had talked about more people coming forward and more things coming out about sexual abuses and people who've had that happen and feeling more empowered now to come through with their stories. And I do believe that did come to pass as we heard more about, people coming out and more things about Sean Diddy Combs. And there was also something else about the Abercrombie and Fitch owners and a whole trafficking and thing going on with them. It was a lot. I thought, whoa, those cards were so spot on that came out for that week. So if you get a chance, go back and check it out. For this upcoming week, I think because we're in the wind down to the election and at this month, Archangel Michael was so prominent with us, I did decide to pull a card from the Archangel Michael deck. And the card that we have overseeing this week, one of them anyways, is his message of go forward fearlessly. He's walking with us, he's holding our hand, walking through things with us this week, giving us his protection. And it's an encouragement to keep moving forward, okay? And maybe not get diluted by all the drama, all the intensity that may come up and be going on the media, etc. It says, thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. So, I think this certainly speaks to the time that we're coming into where we're all going to vote. Actually, a lot of people have already started to vote. A lot of people are going in early, mailing in their ballots. I mean, it's starting. And, I'm sure there may be some stuff that comes up with this week around the ballots and the voting and things like that. So he's saying, but keep going forward, keep taking the next steps. If you're not sure what next step to take, ask him, call on him, say, Michael, can you please show me what the best next step to take is? Ask him to be with you. This can also certainly mean in your personal life as well. If you're facing some challenges or maybe some big decisions, or you've had new ideas and inspirations come to you, which I know was one of the themes for this month from the monthly reading. He's encouraging you to go forward fearlessly, move forward. It's time to continue to take little action steps that are the next steps for you to go, to move forward. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at this specifically. Move forward fearlessly. Go forward fearlessly. That's what it is. Go forward. Yeah, he's saying it's safe for you to move forward with your plans. It's important to take action, no matter how small or seemingly inconsequential, toward your desired outcome. You're supported as you make a life change. So he's walking with us this week, hand in hand, for whatever we may encounter. Now, for this week's, the majority of this cards I pulled from the Wisdom of the Oracle for what we needed to know for this upcoming week. And it's a handful. We've got change in the wind, okay, which is has to do with unseen changes, changes that we didn't initiate. Okay. If you look at the imagery on this card, it's a zebra that's got a weather vane at the top of it, and it can literally mean a change. One of its meanings is like preparing for a storm. Now, it could mean the literal preparing for a storm, but I think it's more in the sense of we as a nation, we're preparing almost for we're kind of expecting a bit of chaos and upheaval as we come into this coming week, as we wind down to our election here. But, there's changes going on, and, there are changes that are important. Okay. We also have chaos and conflict, which is about being at cross purposes with people. And that may be, heightened this week as we drill down into these last days before November 5th. And again, you have another zebra in this card, but he's got kind of like part zebra stripes and, part the tan, squares like a pony. So it's it's like you can't decide whether it's a zebra or whether it's a horse. And so a zebra clearly has the black and white. It's pretty clear, but in this image it's very muddled. It's not so black and white. So there's things that may be churned up this week, things that may be brought to light. But it's the kind of chaos that ultimately leads to order. Okay, if that makes sense. It's let me see, I want to read something from here that made sense to me. Yes, as every storm passes, chaos sometimes leads to the reordering of things. It shows us what needs to be changed. Okay, so there's stuff that's you're probably going to see protests this week. You may see some people doing some strange things, or even I want to say there might be some issues centered around the voting stuff. People who are waiting in line to vote or trying to vote, and things that are, people who are trying to get in their way or prevent them from being able to exercise that right. And it's bringing to light things that should be illegal, or that there should be more structure around going forward. So now the final outcome is this loyal heart. It's about partnership ultimately. And if you look there, it's kind of like they've got the crowns, these birds, these owls. Okay. Partnership, loyalty, and ultimately is what comes out of this. Okay. Now, some additional cards that I got that may or may not be related to this specific week, but they came out, so I'm going to present them anyways. I pulled from our Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck, and I clearly got this Goddess of Sacred Power that came out, and it's about leadership. Okay, and it's about feminine leadership. All right, so it's my, I have no doubt, for me personally, I'll put it out there for entertainment purposes only, that we are going to see our first female president. And I am really excited about that. I remember when she first came into the race many years, back in 2020, when, Joe Biden first came out, and all those there was numerous candidates that came out for that election. And I had a feeling about Kamala Harris. And the interesting thing was, when she didn't win and it became Joe Biden, I thought I was wrong, but I have no doubt now. And part of that comes from trusting our own intuition about things. In the 2020, the 2016 election, before Donald Trump won, I went to bed that night with just a awful feeling. I had a really bad feeling about how that was going to outcome. And, but now I don't have that feeling. I feel very safe. And I also, this card speaks to me that what it's telling me is that that women are going to be the deciding factor in this election. There's another reader that I watch here on YouTube, and she has said many times that when Roe versus Wade was overturned, they awoke a sleeping giant, and there's that age-old expression, like hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Excuse me. So I'm not a person who believes necessarily what the polls say, because I don't feel like they're a true, accurate representation of what's going to be a final outcome. And my sense is that people are going to be coming out of the woodwork. Maybe a lot more women, a lot more young adults. There's going to be, and because of maybe the chaos that comes out this week, it may be that people are finally getting to that deciding factor place if they're undecided. And a lot of that is going to have to do with feminine, the rise of the feminine, women being the deciding factor, and female leadership. Okay. We do have a lot of strong feminine leaders, and that's finally coming into place. For a long time, our country has been run by white men, with the exception, of course, of Barack Obama, our first Black president. But that tide is turning. Okay. Now, the other card, I did pull a fairy card. I pulled from quite a few cards today for this reading. And the interesting thing is I got this card, birthday, that popped out. And I know it was kind of their little reminder to me, because I have a son whose birthday is coming up at the end of this week. So I'm going to be sure to remember my son's birthday. Not that I would forget that. But I also, when I looked at it and I asked Spirit, what I got was that it's the birth of a new day. Okay. And for all of you out there who have been through the birth of a child, okay, that whole process of birth, it's messy. There's a lot of effort involved. There's a lot of pushing involved. There's a lot of bodily fluids that are there. And, so it's not necessarily a pretty process. When we hear birth of a new day, when someone says that, our initial thought is like, to hear the choirs of angels singing. But it's not necessarily. The birth of a new day is often accompanied by a lot of conflict and chaos and stuff that doesn't look so pretty. It reminds me of, if any of you have watched the Harry Potter series, and in that, the character of Harry Potter, when people would think he was so great, going up against Voldemort, he'd be like, no, you don't understand. You're scared shitless when that goes on. When you're there in front of them, it's like all you can do, to keep yourself together. He's like, I was lucky. But he was reminding people that sometimes what seems like a great moment or a new birth of a new day comes about from initially starts with chaos and adverse circumstances. And that's what leads us to the reordering of things, and so that kind of chaos doesn't happen again. And this is about leadership, very much about leadership. It literally says you're being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. Okay. So this certainly speaks to that there could be something in your personal life that needs you to step up and take control of it in a way, or step into like being the one who leads the way. Okay. But I also think it speaks to what's coming into play, that part of this birth of the new day has to do with feminine leadership now being what's in power. Okay. And that's not necessarily, I don't know how many of you out there, there may be some people out there who are uncomfortable with that, but it's bringing in a new order that I think ultimately will be for our benefit. Okay. So it's been a long time coming. And very soon I'll be doing the November reading. So we're certainly going to see what that looks like for our upcoming month. But remember, you do have Archangel Michael walking by you side by side this week. And remember to call upon him when you have those instances where you might be feeling afraid. Ask for him to be with you. Okay. And this is also equivalent to a don't be afraid to step into your power. Okay. So anyways, those are some of the messages that I get for this coming week. All right. Let's get ourselves strapped in, ready to go. Have Archangel Michael with us and move forward into this coming week. So anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching. I really do appreciate your viewership. If this resonated with you today, give a like, subscribe. I'd love to have you come back and watch more videos. All right. Take care. And I wish you a blessed week.